often called Big Apple, the city that never sleeps, the city so nice they named it twice. But to those who come here to pursue their aspirations, it's known as a city of dreams. It astonishes, it beckons, it delivers. And we're going to embrace the biggest, the boldest, the brightest on this extended episode of Ms. World Traveler Experiences New York City.
Gritty and glamorous, poor and rich, ugly and beautiful. Contradictions abound in New York, a city that is in a constant state of metamorphosis, which is part of its appeal. Ever-changing color, taste, light, and motion demand that you don't look away. And the energy, the pulse, is like no other place in the world. Perhaps that is why over 60 million tourists visit every year, and why New Yorkers consider it the center of the universe.
But it can be overwhelming, so let's take it in bite-sized chunks. First order of business is getting around, and while you'll walk more than you've ever walked on a daily basis, the subway will be your primary means of conveyance.
Bicycle, bus, train, and even a commuter cable car to Roosevelt Island are all ways to move people in a city where sheer numbers cause congestion. Even back in the mid-1800s, city planners knew they had to come up with a long-term solution, and those early efforts were foundational to the city's development. So we went underground to learn more. Though it could also be done as a more economical group tour, we hired Untapped New York for a private subway tour and got a brief overview of how travel patterns have changed over the years. When it was originally conceived, certain stations were designed quite opulently to be the central hub of transportation. But as people drifted to other areas of town to live, some of that forethought became outdated, and formerly lovely and lively stations were abandoned and their tracks unused. We saw glimpses of them in the dark. And no, before you ask, there are no secret societies of people living down in the tunnels. One of the facts our guide Peter mentioned was that 1% of the budget for building or renovation is designated for artwork, which is why there are marble slabs, beautiful tile work, stone carvings, mosaics, paintings, soaring skylights, and other fancy decorations that may go unnoticed if you are not actively appreciating them. Each station we visited had something special to see, from the red paint calling attention to interesting focal points, to the tiger oak formal ticket booths, to the miles and miles of white subway tiles broken up by color-coded station names. The tour was about history rather than how to navigate, so even if you feel confident understanding the system, it was still well worth the time. For an even deeper dive into history, head to the Transit Museum, which is housed in an abandoned subway station in Brooklyn, where you can see photos and documents from the very beginning of construction. With constantly evolving exhibits, there is always something new to be experienced at the Transit Museum. While we were there, the Subway Is exhibit, on view until May of 2026, explores different takes on what the subway means to people individually, to the 70,000 employed by the MTA, to the millions it has moved since it opened on October 27, 1904, and to the life and culture in New York City. I found the photos and explanations of how such a monumental project was executed to be fascinating, and so greatly appreciated the magnitude of what was accomplished over 100 years ago. My favorite part of the whole museum was the collection of vintage trains sitting on the tracks of the abandoned platform below the exhibits. It must have amazed people who were still using horse and buggies and just starting to use electric streetcars to get on an underground train. Today, we've gotten used to how rapidly technology changes, but the subway back in the day must have been something to behold. For the $10 admission, this museum is not to be missed.
As for navigation, I used a combination of the MTA app on my phone, Google Maps, and my trusty paper map. I know, old-fashioned, right? The reason I like the paper map is that after I've checked the route on my phone, then I look at the big picture on the map and I can see what else is in the area to explore at the same time.
For example, if I was going to the Soho area, I could see that Chinatown and Little Italy blended into each other and that I could wander easily from one to the other. I ended up making fewer, still some, but fewer mistakes by utilizing multiple ways to check my routes. Now here are some fun facts about the subway system. There are over 470 active stations. Most operate 24/7. 40% of the lines run on surface or elevated tracks, and there are close to 250 miles of routes.
It is the largest system in the U.S., but no need to be intimidated. We've got you covered. Next segment, we're headed to Broadway, and if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. Don't go away.